Could you be liable for a fine up to £30,000 if your property doesn't meet the current electrical safety standards? On the 1st of June 2020, the electrical safety standards in the private rented sector, England, came into force. This means that every new tenancy that was created after the 1st of July in 2020 must comply with the legislation and have a current 5-year EICR electrical installation condition report in order to let their property legally and compliantly. The certificate must be carried out by a qualified electrician and a copy of which must be given to the tenant prior to their occupation of the property. If, upon inspection of the property, the electrical engineer found that there were remedial works that are required to give the certificate a satisfactory result, then a landlord has certain timescales in order to get those repairs done. Now, when an electrical engineer gives reports on remedial works that are required, they are normally in way of a code. Code 1, meaning that what they have found is immediately dangerous and the work should be carried out as soon as possible to avoid injury, death or harm. Number 2, the works must be carried out as soon as possible, but most certainly within the next 28 days. Code 3, these are normally recommendations from the electrician to bring the electrics up to current regulations. However, with Code 3s, this doesn't mean that an electrician cannot issue a satisfactory certificate. If you receive an unsatisfactory certificate as a landlord, you have 28 days to complete the remedial works. Once those 28 days are up, you must report to the tenant in writing evidence that the remedial works have been carried out and the certificate is now a satisfactory certificate. The easiest way to do this is to ask the electrician carrying out the remedial works to issue a fresh, new certificate giving a satisfactory response. This can then be used for all subsequent tenancies within the next 5 years. Upon request, you may be required to provide a copy to the local housing authority. If they request a copy from you, you again have 28 days to supply them with a copy of a satisfactory certificate. Failure to comply with this piece of legislation holds penalties up to £30,000. The penalties are enforced by the local authority. This means that they have a benefit as a department to prosecuting landlords because the money is going directly into their pot. It is therefore vitally important that you comply with this piece of legislation. These requirements apply to all properties within the private rented sector, apart from those where the landlord is resident. Where the landlord is resident, the landlord must share at least one of the basic amenities, being a kitchen or a bathroom, with the tenant for this to qualify. It is also best practice to carry out a visual check in between tenancies. The visual check can be conducted by a competent person and quite simply means what it says on the tin. Visually, have a look at the property and the electrics, so the light sockets and the plug sockets, the fuse board, to just confirm that there are no cracked light sockets, no visible wires that are visible. Document that at change of tenancy, and landlords, along with the EICR, you will be protected. If you're finding this video useful, please subscribe to our channel for more videos on compliance within the private rented sector. Landlords, I really hope you found this useful. I run a quarterly webinar where we go deeper into the legislation of the private rented sector, covering a variety of things each quarter. I would like to invite you to join free of charge by clicking the link and registering within the description. I hope to see you there soon. If you would like to learn more now, we have a playlist dedicated to compliance videos in the private rented sector that you can continue to watch right now. Click here.